Hello everyone, Autumchild here. So I ended up finally getting a new camcorder just before the convention and I wanted to test it out. And I remembered a long time ago I mentioned of showing off the collection of games I have. It's nothing fancy, but I thought in case you guys were curious or even wanted to suggest Let's Plays based on my collection, it'd be kind of neat to show you guys. Starting off with my Kirby rug because my friend Aaron, also known as Necromancer, made this, and I love it to pieces. Anyways, I thought I'd just start off with what's in my room here, because I've got my PlayStation 3 and all my portable games in this room. So let's move up to the PlayStation 3 games. This camera actually works quite nicely. There's a good nice little zoom there. So you can see the PlayStation 3 collection is a little on the small side. I do have a bunch of digital games as well, but not a bad selection if I do say so myself. Big thank you to Cookie Cook for sending me the Metal Gear HD Solid collection. I probably butchered that name, but still, big thank you. So that's pretty much my PlayStation 3 games. Next, I'll show what's on my other shelf behind my pillows here. And my cat. This is my PlayStation Portables. As you can see, I've got some imports in there because it is a godsend that the portable's region-free, with my 3DS sitting here too. And speaking of DS, I've got my 3DS and DS games here as well. I love the quality of this camera. So there's my small DS collection. My 3DS has greatly exceeded it to this day. And you can see all those there. I do hope those are coming in clearly. I'll see it on playback. But yeah, I've got a Japanese 3DS as well, so that's why you see Japanese games here too. So nice. And my cat is sniffing my arm. Hi. Of course, I'm not done there. In my fancy little drawer right underneath my bed here, I gotta move a stool out of the way. I've got a few more fancy game stuff as well as some of my game boxes. In this lovely black box here, I've got more of my Game Boy games. And if I move these cables out of the way, show you these lovely little cartridges here. Of course, this isn't everything. There's some games inside this case as well. I need to make better organization out of this. I'll put some in the lid too. Easier to see that way. Come here. So much games. Try my best to keep them organized, but since I have them all over the place, it's difficult. So even in my Game Boy there, so there's some of my Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. And some more of them over here. And if you'll give me a moment, I'll show you the Game Boy Advance games. Okay, now that I got that all sorted out, you can see my Game Boy Advance games. I keep a lot of the original boxes for some of them. Sadly, I don't have all of it, because I did buy some of these games secondhand as well. But I got a good selection here. As you can see, I still have my yellow box with the cartridge in there. Believe it or not, the save battery still works in that thing. I'll have to show that off someday. I actually saved the Team 2 Pokemon Stadium back when I had no idea how to play Pokemon. And then right over here, some more of my Game Boy Advance games. As you can see, I've got a pretty decent selection, and the Starfy Trilogy is among them. After I played the first 3 games, I found them for a good price and managed to get a hold of them, so yay! I also have some more Starfy 2 to show off, because I just realized when playing through that cartridge, there are some new stages that I didn't show in my Let's Play, so Starfy 2 will be making a return for a quick moment as well. But that pretty much does it for everything in my room here. As you can see, I try to keep things as organized as possible, and if I creep into my office here, this is where majority of my things are. You can see my workstation here in the whole nerd room. Game stations over here with the consoles, and I'm going to quickly close the door just so I don't get disturbed. So I'll actually start what's in here first. If I don't pull my Elgato off the table with my PlayStation Portable. Just move that out of the way. No. Stay. There we go. So, organization of this is pretty interesting right now. I've got my Sega Genesis games and my Dreamcast as well as my Switch games in here. So I'll give a good look of what's all in here. My Dreamcast library is pretty small to start. I have to thank Dario for sending me his Dreamcast because that was so nice of him. I appreciate this thing so much, and I do plan on using it for some recording sessions when I get around to it. And as you can see with the lonely little Switch game up here, that's the Ace Attorney trilogy that I managed to get before it released up here. And then my Switch collection here at the bottom. You can probably guess most of it's indie games because I seem to have more entertainment value with that. All the way up to a couple specialty boxes. I'd say a good 1/16 of this collection is imports. Even that Dragon Marked for Death is the special edition that only the Japan got. Which I'm a nerd. Anyways, let's close that up without crushing any of the cables. And hopefully not destroying a PlayStation Portable. Back to the view of the consoles. And the next door, which honestly is really nice. My controllers are up there that I use on a daily basis. And you can see my PlayStation 1 games are here, along with, I think this is just an empty case. Yeah, it's just an empty case. And my PlayStation 4 games are in this lineup as well, right down to the Tetris effect at the end there. And then more down here with my GameCube games. I plan on doing a GameCube game here eventually. For which one, I won't say just yet, but you can see hiding in the corner here, I've got Smash Bros. Melee, and that very end one is 4 Sword Adventures. I'd say not a bad collection, and I recently even found these two not too long ago as well. So that's everything in the door there. I can tell you right now I bought a lot of this myself. Some of it is honestly hand-me-downs from when a family member worked in a video store, but still not a bad selection. Here are the Wii and Wii U games, because I have a Wii U. Why wouldn't I? It's a great little console, even though the Switch pretty much successed in every way and form. But you can see there, I've got a fairly decent collection of games there, and I was one of the people who bought Breath of the Wild for the Wii U before I got a Switch. Honestly, I thought in the mentality of the same way Twilight Princess was handled, where the previous version was actually better than the new consoles, but honestly they're on par with one another from the videos I've seen. And then my little Wii collection. Not a bad selection, mind you, and I just recently actually found Punch-Out not too long ago for it, so that was kind of nice. And then the rest of my bookshelf here is just art books, lesson books, and a couple of figures, as well as the last story for the Wii. Then if I scoot my way over here, you can see the older consoles are here. And down at the bottom is the lovely Nintendo series collection. The N64 games are a combination of my brother's as well as my own games, so a little of everything there. And to you guys that are big buffs, I do have Zelda, Ocarina, and Majora's Mask. I honestly do enjoy Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time, that's just me. Then we move over to the Super Nintendo games. This one I'll probably get a good shot here. It's not very big because most of the time we rented games for the Super Nintendo, but I've been expanding the collection as of late. Final Fantasy III, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, and X2 and 3 are just some of the recent additions. Fun fact, when it came to the Super Nintendo, my brother and I only had a grand total of 10 games for this console. We either played at a friend's house who had a bigger selection, or rented a bunch of our games for this lovely little machine that's missing a chip out of it and really needs the shell restored. And then, of course, our childhood, mostly mine, the NES. This is definitely a collection I've been expanding over the years. You can see we've got more of the Mega Man games. I have recently found DuckTales there, but a lot of this stuff we've had for a very long time. Nostalgia at its finest. Of course, I'm not quite done yet. I still have one little area left to show you guys, and that's the lovely PlayStation 2. Yeah, as you can see, I'm one of the biggest nerds in my family. I've been collecting over the years, but quite happy with the selection I've found so far. To the right you see pretty much the everyday games and my brother's games, because he was a big fan of the PS2 as well. Some of our old PlayStation 1 games are there. I'll get a good zoom in on those so you guys can get a better look at them. And that lovely little Game Boy Pocket there is currently holding Link's Awakening. I've been playing it again since the announcement. And then, of course, my side of the collection. Big GDR buff at the time, and just a huge selection of anime-esque games. Gives you a good idea of what I've got here. So if you guys see something you like and want to suggest something, I might just add it to my list. My ongoing list. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my games. I keep the amiibo pretty close. Nice little Kirby amiibos at the top, and then everything else is stacked in here. But that's about it. Now you guys have gotten a good look of my office here. You can see it's very nerd-like. My workstation right there as I bump the camera. And I think this was actually a little good test run of the camera too. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the Autumchild. I really can't speak to save my life. Autumchild Grand Tour of Nerddom. And this is Autumchild saying, I'll see you all next time.